Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Uh, Mr. Fellows, Mr. Russell, I've got a mine in my district, a number of mines actually, but I have a mine called Round Mountain. Are any of you aware of that place? Round Mountain has been working on a permit that is still within the envelope that it was permitted almost 80 years ago. It's not going outside its boundaries. It's just trying to expand the hole that it's working on. They've been working for over 2 years to obtain a permit. This is due to start the closure process of this mine in 2018. Without the expansion of this, that's close to 2,900 jobs that would cost our state. Some of the highest paying jobs anywhere. Can anybody give me an idea why it would take so long to do an environmental assessment within the same area that's already been assessed for over 80 years, and why it's taken the process? Anybody care to tell me why that takes that long?
I genuinely struggle to see from a purely technical point of view how it could take that long. There has to be something procedural going on there.
Engineering's been done, everything's been done, the study's been done, been submitted, and it's still within the same envelope. But because of the environmental process, we continue to have to fight issues like these studies. Mr. Russell, you know, we talk about the fact that the America's significant mineral resources currently attract 7% of the worldwide exploration dollars as compared to 20% back in the 1990s. Given our wealth of materials and minerals, would it be likely that we might change that back to that 20%, which would change the trade deficit we have in this country today, if those were more accessible, more expedient in the process of doing it, and would that attract more of that exploration?
Mr. Chairman, Representative, the short answer is yes. If there was a more reliable and predictable process that would encourage and instill confidence to the business decisions to come to the U.S. and to be able to say, through this, we know that we can get through a rigorous process, but once we have that the rule of law will hold in the U.S. and that we can rely on our access and our rights of tenure, I believe that the answer is yes. But because it takes so long, there are other countries where projects can go to be done and develop quicker, and the return on investment is much, much quicker. But I think the answer is yes, if we can get through this issue of long times to develop a permit for a mine.
Mr. Fellows, do you believe that there is access to, or there is minerals out there that are of high-grade quality that could be gone after if the process was a little quicker, that would solve some of the issues?
Absolutely, and one of the key findings from our study is that right now the US receives around 7% of global exploration expenditure, which was actually a surprisingly high figure to me, given how difficult it is to actually advance projects through the development pipeline here. What that tells you, I believe, is that geologists, mining companies, explorers still regard this country as being highly prospective for a whole range of minerals. So the issue really is not the geological availability of these things here in the US. It is really a case of getting them developed.
Thank you. Mr. Green, in your comments earlier, we talked about the federal government. Is it not its responsibility to make sure that of the safety and security of its citizens within its borders and outside its borders? Isn't it also maybe responsible for the economic security of individuals?
Sorry, I couldn't agree more. And I think there is a close nexus between that. Having studied the industrial base and the supply chain for many years, a bill such as this creating a positive economic for that environment just has a flow-down effect through the supply chain. And I've worked with many industries who say, you know, it's the business climate in the United States. It's either the inability to get a permit, the inability to find downstream customers that are preventing us from doing the production here. So we're simply going to have to look to other places. So I think the two, economic and national security, are inextricably linked.
Thank you. And I'd just like to make a little statement real quick. I'd like to concur with my colleague there, Ranking Member Lowenthal, that these are all precious minerals. Gravels, which I work with, there has to be a certain density in order for a quality gravel to work on a highway or in concrete. You know, Wyoming itself has one of the hardest materials that PR&R use on their tracks all the way across their system. They haul it for many miles because it's one of the most hard or dense products in order to keep the safety of our citizens through that process. So, thank you.